Well, last week Florida kind of looked like they were beatable by Texas Tech. Was there anything you saw in that regional that gives you hope this week?
Well, they're a great team. I think we're a great team, and it's just going to be who plays the best this weekend. That's the problem.
You had a big series against them in April. How much can you take from that into June, or is it just like starting over?
Not a whole lot. They're different. We're different. We've both had time to get better as a team and learn more about ourselves as teams. So, again, it's going to be a 3-game series. It's going to be who gets the big hits, who makes the big pitches, and this weekend we'll decide who goes to Omaha. So can't ask for more than that.
It seems kind of apropos. Like, that was such a huge weekend here when you guys were able to sweep them. For a big day for Will. Just so many things. Is there anything you pull from that? Any emotion, or is that all us?
That's all you, for sure. No, look, it means we should be feeling like we can compete with Florida. It's going to be a challenge because last time it was in our ballpark. This time it will be in their ballpark. But as I said, they're a really good team. We're a really good team. Let's get after it.
What were you most impressed with your guys this past weekend?
Well, we did everything well. We pitched extremely well, which always sets the tone. We played great defense behind those pitchers, and then we swung the bats better than we had in a long time. And again, having McGillis back there at the top and Wimmer back in the lineup and Messina catching and just on and on and on, it just looked like it was us again.
Mark, do you think you're going to run Hicks and Mahoney at their 1-2?
That's a possibility. We're not going to announce anything for sure yet, but that's one of the possibilities.
And how about Will Sanders? Has he shown you enough to where he could potentially start a game if
Yeah,
need be?
absolutely. Just a matter of what we think is the best way. If we don't play any extra inning games, there's 27 innings to play, so what's the best way to get our best pitchers throwing the most amount of impactful innings? And that's what we'll evaluate.
Mark, what was the mood and the energy like at practice last week, especially compared to last week coming off the SEC tournament and getting yourselves right for this run?
Yeah, last week was really good for us. It allowed us to have a combination of take a step back and recharge the batteries, but also get back to work and get back to the basics. And I think that's something that's really important. If you can go into a weekend fresh, but also having gotten back to what made you good in the first place, I think that's the best combination that you can ask for. That's exactly what happened last week.
Mark, what's different about Florida? It seems like they're playing really good ball down the stretch here. What have you seen from them over the 4 weeks since you guys haven't?
Well, again, they have 3 first-rounders in their weekend rotation. They have a potential first pick overall in Langford. Caglione will be a very high first-round pick as a hitter or a pitcher next year. They're just extremely talented. When you're in the state of Florida, like they are, and you're the only SEC team, you're going to get the best players in the state of Florida. And we know Florida is one of the top talent-producing states in the country, so they're always going to be very ultra-talented.
What would getting to Omaha mean to you?
A lot. Been there before. Fortunately, I've been blessed to be there as a player and as an assistant coach twice. I'd love to go there with South Carolina. It'd mean a lot.
Can these guys go toe-to-toe with anyone in Omaha?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's no question about it. But so can Florida. So can LSU. So can a lot. There's 16 teams playing. There's only 16 teams left playing. Any one of them can go to Omaha now and play well. And obviously, we're one of those teams.
Mark, had 3 South Carolina teams hosting. You're the only one to advance. Does that hold any significance for you guys, just kind of representing the state now?
Well, I mean, again, we do this for our fans. We do this for our school, and our focus is on the Gamecocks. I mean, we're very happy that we're playing now. We're very happy that we have the opportunity to go to Omaha.
Mark, specifically with James coming back this year after last year, it didn't end well for him. What was his approach during the summer, and just how have you seen him evolve this year?
Well, he's a guy that wanted to leave here leaving some type of legacy, and he just didn't get to pitch much last year because of the injury. And he's come back this year, and he's left it because now people will remember his name because of the big outing in the SEC tournament, because he set the tone for us in a big home regional that he won. So his approach has just always been very workmanlike. He works extremely hard. He's very popular among his teammates because he does things the right way, and I'm glad that he's getting rewarded for that.
Did Will McGillis come through okay from this past weekend? I guess physically his first weekend really playing.
Yeah.
And then is there any chance that he could play in the field at all, or is he kind of a DH?
Probably we're going to err on the side of conservative with him because throwing the ball is what seemed to aggravate him the first time when he tried to make a comeback. So we're just going to keep letting him do what he did this weekend.
Over the course of the weekend, what is the most improvement you've seen?
I'm sorry?
Over the course of the whole season, what's the most improvement you've seen from the team?
Well, I mean, again, we were as good as anybody for the first 40 games, and so then we had some adversity hit, and we had to handle that. So in terms of improvement, I would say just mentally, these kids have learned some good lessons over the course of the year. And generally, teams that have to struggle to get to the end are better suited to handle adversity as it comes in the postseason. And sometimes if it's too easy all year, then it might catch up to you. So this is a team that's better off because they went through some adversity.
So
You
Mark,
got,
I know
you
you
got your man
coaches.
back there behind you. Has the team kind of got its swagger back over now that you got everybody healthy and coming off this region? It got a little bit of swagger back with you?
I would like to think so, and maybe we always had it, but you know you have to be a little more reserved when things aren't going your way. You have to kind of tone it down because nobody wants to look like they're having too much fun when you're not winning. You know that's just how you handle yourself in baseball. But yeah, I think the guys have had fun, and I've challenged them to have more fun than any team that's still playing for the rest of the season, because the teams that have fun and are loose tend to play better and come through in big moments.
How's Wimmer with that hamstring? Is he reactivated?
Just a tick. He'll play on Friday, but it's just a matter of continuing to manage it. But he'll be in the lineup on Friday.
Mark, you've mentioned a lot of kind of fourth-year, fifth-year players. How much is having those guys help in these games like this, especially this past weekend?
Yeah, I mean it's big. I mean Will Sanders coming back as a veteran is important, and we've got a lot of guys that are veterans that are having really good years. That being said, we also play 5 underclassmen, which sometimes gets lost on people. They think this was all just a transfer portal story, and nothing could be further from the truth. I mean, we're playing 5 underclassmen and pitching a lot of underclassmen as well. So I think that bodes well for us.
Hey, Mark, I know you coaches love to stay on an even
You
keel.
coaches, come on, Rick.
That's okay. Well, I know coaches. How about that? Okay, I know coaches.
Okay.
Love to stay on an even keel.
Right.
Okay, not too
We don't
high.
love to. We just have to.
Okay, not too high.
It's very
not too low.
effortful to do that, but we know it's in everybody's best interest.
Okay, but personally, you're getting back to the Super Regionals for the first time since your first year here. Do you have your moments where you go, yeah, they get just a little bit tingly just thinking about getting back there?
Well, you just thank God that things are moving in the direction you work hard to get them moving in. So again, there's so much of this job that's out of your control. You can recruit well, you can work hard, you can do all those things, and sometimes misfortune can take away the success that you think you're going to have. All that being said, I'm very happy that this group of kids and this staff and these fans are going to have a chance to watch games that mean you can go to Omaha.
You mentioned the underclassmen. Ethan got 2 big honors today once again. Just what's been the secret to his success as far as not getting too high with the highs or low with the lows?
I would just say talent and work ethic are his keys. He's a very talented kid. He works very hard, and he does keep an even keel as well. He has no ego. He's just a kid that loves to play, loves to be out here competing, and that's his secret. Is he's very talented. He works hard, and he's got great makeup.
What's been the biggest difference with him, just adjustment-wise or mentally, over the last 3 or 4 weeks now that's allowed him to get back to what he was?
Yeah, I think sometimes freshmen can hit that wall. They're used to playing 20-plus games in high school, and not only do we play 56 regular season games, but the intensity in the SEC, that's like playing 100. And so I think sometimes a freshman can hit the wall, and maybe that happened to him, but now as we get into the postseason, we're getting, we're not having to go to class, we're not having to do a lot of things other than just focus on baseball, and I think he's getting a second wind.
Do you know who you're going to start in game 1, or is that still to be determined?
We'll call it TBD, Colin.
The atmosphere has been such a big storyline for regionals. How can you, or how do you try to take the atmosphere of Founders Park and bring it to Gainesville?
Well, we hope to see a lot of garnet and black in the stands, I can tell you that, because that makes an impact. It made a huge impact for us this weekend, and the more we have down in Gainesville, the more impact it will have for us on the road. But we know there'll be more orange and blue there than garnet and black, but we just hope the garnet and black people that are there decide to be just as loud.
A couple more. Any 2-a-days this week?
Yeah, we had one yesterday. Again, it's not like a 2-a-day where they're walking off the field exhausted and going to get to the hot tub or the cold pool, but it was just a good basics. As I told them, sometimes this is a sport of consistency, and consistency is born out of routine. And if you find a good routine that works for you as a player or a team, you're foolish not to stick with it.
Eli Jones kind of got lost in the shuffle, but he had 2 huge innings on Saturday. What did you kind of see from him, and where's he maybe fit in this weekend?
Yeah, I think in a very similar role that he was this past weekend. When you can move guys that are good enough to start to your bullpen, that makes you a better staff.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.